This is indefinite integration practice. So let's go ahead. We have the indefinite integral of 3x times the square root of x plus 2 all times dx. And we're going to use u substitution on this. So we're going to let u equal x plus 2. And we can also say that x equals, we'll solve for x equals u minus 2. Okay, and then du equals 1 dx. So, just plugging things in here, we can say that this is equal to the integral of 3 times, we're plugging in u to the x's, so u minus 2 times the square root of u du. Okay. This is a constant, a scalar, and so we can simplify our integrand by removing that to the front. So we'll go ahead and do that. 3 times the integral of u minus 2 times the square root of u du. This square root symbol we also know is equivalent to u to the 1/2 power equals u to the 1/2 power. So we're going to put that in that format. Equals 3 times the integral of u minus 2 times u to the 1/2 power du. And so now we're going to distribute the 1/2 power, and remembering our exponential rules from algebra, we know that this is equivalent to u over u to the 1 power, which is, we can also look at as saying that's u to the 2 over 2 power. And so we're going to distribute, and when you distribute the integral of u times u to the 1/2 power, we know that we add them together. So it's u to the 2 over 2 plus 1 over 2 minus 2 times u to the 1/2 power du. And we'll go ahead and simplify that again, just being really step by step here. That's u to the 3/2 power minus 2u to the 1/2 power, and that's du. So from here, we can actually split it into two separate integrals because we have the subtraction operator, and then this can become a very simple power rule. It's just going to be here times the integral of u to the 3/2 power minus the integral of 2 times u to the 1/2 power. Okay, and that's put a little du here and a little du here, and all that's multiplied by 3. So one more time, simplifying with the power rule, we're going to add 1 and multiply by the inverse. So that's equal to 3 times the whole thing of, what's that? That's, add 1 here, that's plus 2 over 2, and so that's going to be 5/2. So we're going to multiply by 2/5 u to the 5/2 power minus, we could bring the 2 out here, which would be 2 times the integral of u to the 1/2 du, and we'll just go ahead and do that. That's going to be 2 times, we're going to add plus 2 over 2, so that's plus u to the 3/2, times 2/3 power, times 2/3. I get a little sloppy there. Okay. All that's times 3. So we'll go ahead and move up here. So then we're just going to simplify the 2 times 2 over there. So we'll say that's equal to 3 times this whole thing of, let's see, what did I write? Let's see, 2/5 u to the 5/2 minus, this is 2 times 2, so that's 4/3 u to the 3/2. All that times 3. We can distribute the 3. Okay, that's 6/5 times u to the 5/2 minus 3 times 4, that's negative 12 divided by 3 u to the 3/2. And we can simplify that, say that's equal to 6/5 u to the 5/2 minus 4 u to the 3/2. And we can go back to the beginning. We can say, what was u? U was x plus 2. And so we say that 6/5 times x plus 2 to the 5/2 power minus 4 times x plus 2 to the 3/2 power, and
Constant.
can't forget the plus c. Thank you.
You would have said that.
Okay, there you have it.
Thank you, Robert.
Did you want to show us how you check it by differentiating it?
Yeah.
We
Is
can
that-
do that. We can do
You
that
You
too.
don't have to.
That was difficult too, man. I'll tell you what. Okay, we can work backwards, and we could say, all right. Okay, let's check our work here. This is the final answer, and we'll try to work backwards from it. So we'll say d dx x of that whole thing, and the first step is going to be the chain rule. So you cover up the inside thing, multiply by the derivative of the thing, and so we're going to have 5/2 times 6/5 times x plus 2 to the minus 1 up here. That puts us back to the 3/2 minus, okay, drop down 3/2 times 4, and we could say that's 4 over 1 if we want, times x plus 2 to the 1/2, okay. Okay, we can simplify that now. So that's 6 times 5, that's 30, divided by 2 times 5, that's 10, times x plus 2 to the 3/2, minus 3 times 4 is 12, divided by 2, times x plus 2 to the 1/2. Okay, just one step at a time here. That's the key. So we can simplify that. That's 3 times x plus 2 to the 3/2 minus 6 times x plus 2 to the 1/2. Okay, now from there, somehow we've got to get from here back to there or here. And to do that, Carrie showed me this really cool trick. We can actually factor this thing out. So we're going to try to do that here. We're going to say, go back up here. All right. We're going to factor the 3 times x plus 2 to the 3/2 out. And we're going to say, this is equal to 3 times x plus 2 to the 1/2 power all times x plus 2 minus 2, right? Because 2 times this is equal to that, right? And if we factored one of these out, it's equal to that. So this times 2 is that. So that's where this 2 comes from. It's craziness. Okay, so we're getting there. All right, and this is equal to 3 times x plus 2 to the 1/2 power plus 2 minus 2 times x equals 3 times x plus 2 to the 1/2 power. The relationship to the 1/2 power equals 3x square root of x plus 2. There it is. There you have it. All right.
Does anybody have any questions? Everybody okay with, everybody okay with how we got from here to here? Because that's a tough
No.
part.
That
Can
is
you please
strange, yeah.
re-explain?
So, the 3 comes out of each of these, right? And so that's why he brought
I could have taken the 3 out
a
first.
3 out. You've got an x plus 2 to a power here and x plus 2 to a power here, so it stands to reason that you should be able to pull out an x plus 2, right? There's 3 halves of them here, there's only 1/2 of them here, so 1/2 is the most that we could take out, okay? So that's why he pulled out what he did. Now, when you factor, you pull things out and then you have to write down what's left, right? So another way to say that, so if you're factoring 2x plus 6, you pull out the 2 and then what do I put here? Well, whatever I put here, 2 times this has to be 2x, right? And that's why an x goes here, and whatever I put here, 2 times it has to be equal to this, right? That's how this whole game is played. So after you pull this out, I say, what do I have to put here so that 3 times x plus 2 to the 1/2 times this is equal to this? Well, I've already got the 3, and I've already got a 1/2 power's worth of x plus 2, but, right, when the bases are
Two
the
over
same,
two.
you add the exponents, and 1/2 here plus 1 here makes 1/2 more commonly known, well, not commonly known, but also known as 3/2. The second part is much easier to see, right, because we took
Minus 2.
all of this,
Minus
and
2.
we took 3 of the 6, and so we're just left with the 2. And then x plus 2 minus 2 is just x. And look, that's what we started with.
Wow.
It really works.
Magic.
It's amazing.
Thank you very, very much, Robert.
Thank you very much, Robert.
Thank you.